Hello, my name is Cheryl Meyer, otherwise known as Cheryl M. Health Muse, and I am a health coach. I want to welcome you to my podcast, It Feels Good to Feel Good, Future-Proof Your Health. This is a weekly show that will share lifestyle changes that you can make to support your health yourself. Why do I want to share this information with you? 7 years ago, after being a business owner for 20 years, I woke up one morning in horrific pain where every bone and every joint in my body hurt. I went to the doctor. She ran lots of tests, and then she ran some more, and then she ran some more, and finally she called me and announced she was going to give me steroids, but there was absolutely nothing wrong with me and I should seek therapy. I knew something was wrong. I hurt. So she told me I would be on steroids for the rest of my life, and I refused that I was going to have a life of pain and pills. So why was I going to take steroids if there was nothing wrong with me? So I dug in and started researching, and I turned my business over to my staff. I found a functional doctor who confirmed that I had autoimmune disease. By making a series of significant lifestyle changes that I could do for myself, 5 years later, I had returned to relative health. The best part is that I am now 70, and I feel better now than I did when I was 50. I no longer hurt, which is huge. I will always have autoimmune disease, but losing the pain has been amazing. I went back to school at 67 and became a health coach because I want to share everything that I learned with others. And I wrote a book called It Feels Good to Feel Good, Learn to Eliminate Toxins, Reduce Inflammation, and Feel Great Again, as the manual I wish that I had had when I got sick, and my book has won 13 awards. So whether you want to future-proof your health and grow old with dignity and grace without dementia and chronic pain and disease, which you don't need to get, or whether or not you already have a chronic condition like autoimmune disease or cancer or heart disease, and you want to learn about what things you can do to improve your long-term health, or whether you want to improve the health of your families and raise healthy children, because 53% of our children have a chronic condition, I look forward to sharing all this information with you. I will tell you, it truly does feel good to feel good, so let's get started. I look forward to having you join me here every week, and I want to give you hope that if you have chronic pain or chronic disease, you can make changes that will improve your health. And if you don't want to go there, you're going to be fine if you listen to the show and put these things into work. I want to give you information so that you can grow old and have a better tomorrow. So thank you for joining me. Let's get started. Hello. I want to continue talking about sugar today. One of the things that you can do to protect your health is detox off of sugar, because believe it or not, an addiction to sugar and a craving of sugar in your body actually lowers your immunity so that you're a little bit more likely to catch a virus. And so I'm going to start off by going over the steps to detox off of sugar that we went over at the end of the last segment. And then I'm going to talk about what do you do when you have cravings, because trust me, you're going to have some through the detox period. If I can encourage you to break the hold of sugar on your body, that's a huge leap towards having greater health, not only through the coronavirus phase, but for the flu, for a cold, for anything that's going around that you could catch. If you break the hold of sugar on your body, you will have a stronger immune system and you will have better health. Okay? So we're going to go over the same steps to a sugar detox that we ended with last time, and then we're going to move on from there. And remember, one of the huge advantages of breaking off sugar and breaking up with it is that it will give you food freedom to eat all of the things that will actually be healthy and full of nutrition for your body. And it will also be good for every organ in your body because sugar impacts all of them in a negative way. And just to clarify, I'm not talking about adding 1 teaspoon of sugar to your coffee in the morning. I'm talking about all the sugar that's hidden in all the other foods that you're eating in your life. So breaking the sugar connection is huge. All right? So what are you going to do? These are 20 steps to a sugar-free life. And I want to reiterate, it will take you 3 to 6 weeks to break the addiction so that you come out the other end and you no longer are drawn to the sugar. And by getting through the sugar detox period, the hormone that controls your appetite goes back to normal and controls your appetite so that what you're looking for when you're hungry is healthy food and not fast food or sugary foods that have a hold on your body. So the first thing you're going to do is read food labels. There are tons of hidden sugar in processed food. So go through your pantry, go through your cupboards, and toss out things that have lots of sugar in them. You don't want to have them during the sugar detox, and you don't want to have them there to get you hooked again when you come out the other end of the sugar detox. So you're going to be eliminating most boxed foods, most canned foods, and most processed foods. For the period of the detox, you're going to want to eat no grains because grains turn into sugar in your body. You're going to want to grocery shop so that you have great choices on hand when you start the detox. And you're going to try not to eat out because, again, when you eat out, you're not controlling what you're putting in your mouth. The restaurant is controlling what you're putting in your mouth. So you want to be able to have control of what goes into your food. So you're going to be preparing it for the 3 to 6 weeks yourself. Through the period of the detox, you're going to eat tons of vegetables. And I prefer that you eat them organic, but you can look up on my website and we'll put it over this on the film so that you know what's on the Dirty Dozen list. If it's on the dirty side of the Dirty Dozen, you definitely only want to eat it organic, because if you're not eating it organic and it's on the Dirty Dozen side, you're getting a healthy dose of toxins with your food. You're getting glyphosate and other chemicals which don't do your body any good and are very harmful to your liver. And one of the good benefits of coming through a sugar detox is that it will help your liver return to a healthy function, so you don't want to have toxins in there that are screwing up the works. So for the time of the detox, you're going to eat all the green vegetables that you can, and you're going to avoid sweet potatoes, squash, and beets. Why are you going to eliminate those? Because they're all very high in sugar. So you're not going to want to eat those because you don't want the sugar. You want to keep your sugar very low so that you can come out of the other end of being attracted and to the sugar itself. You're going to eat fat during the period of the detox because vitamins A, E, K, and B are all fat-soluble vitamins, and you need fat in your body to utilize them, and you want to be able to get as much of those vitamins into your body as possible from the wonderful, nutritious food that you're going to be eating. So where are you going to get your fats? You're going to get them from nuts and seeds. You're going to get it from olive oil. Now, I'm a huge proponent of California olive oil because California has laws that if it says it's olive oil, it's really olive oil. If you're buying your olive oil from Europe, you need to make sure that it's certified olive oil because the mafia has gotten involved in the olive oil industry and they're cutting it with the genetically modified vegetable oils, which you don't want in your body. So you want to make sure that you're getting real olive oil. The olive oil from Greece and from Spain and from Italy that's certified means they're literally tracking that olive from the tree right into the body. So that's also okay for you to use. But if you don't find certified olive oil, go ahead and use Californians because there are laws that regulate that it is olive oil. Coconut oil is a great choice of oil. It's a very healthy oil for your body. And during the period of the detox, that would be a great choice of oils. Avocados are a great choice of a way to get good oils into your body. You might consider having avocado with your eggs for breakfast and having avocado on your sandwich for lunch, and then add avocado to your salad for dinner. Avocado is a very healthy oil and will allow you to take all of those great vitamins, the K, E, K, and B, and assimilate them into your body. You're going to want to eat wild-caught fresh fish during the detox, which are fishes like salmon or sardines or mackerel, because they have very healthy oils in them. And the oils that are in fish are omega-3 oils. A lot of the other oils that we get, not the ones that I just listed on my list, but all the vegetable oils, those are omega-6s. And when they get out of whack, imbalance in your body, they start to become more harmful. So you want to make sure you get as many omega-3s as possible. I also take an omega-3 supplement because it keeps my heart, the outside of my heart, very healthy and flexible. The omega-3 is great for my heart muscle, which helps me with my immune system and helps me with my health. You're going to want to eat quality protein. Now, I don't care if you're eating species-specific animals that are eating their actual diet that they're supposed to be eating, which means that you would be eating grass-fed, grass-finished beef. You would be eating lamb because sheep like to eat grass, so they are naturally eating the diet that they are specifically supposed to eat. We also eat heritage pork, which is pastured, which is good for us, and then you want to eat free-run chicken that is pastured so that he's running around eating his natural diet of seeds and berries and bugs. That makes him delicious, and it also makes him very healthy for your body. Now, unfortunately, chickens that are free-run out there in the field who are not eating GMO grain are also skinny little dudes. So you're not going to get a big fat chicken when you're buying a quality chicken, but all of the meat that's on the quality chicken is really good for your body. So it's a trade-off that's worth it. For snacks, you're going to put some really healthy snacks into your refrigerator. And I recommend that you put them eye level on that shelf of your refrigerator, so when you open up the door, they're the things that your eyes see. And by healthy snacks, what I'm talking about vegetables that are already cut up and are in water, like celery sticks and carrot sticks and bell peppers. If you don't have a problem with nightshades, they're a great choice. Jicama is a great choice. Things that you can cut into long strips that are healthy, that are great munch food, and then make yourself some guacamole that you can eat with your snacks, or make yourself some hummus, which is a very easy thing to make fresh. And again, I want you to control what you're putting in your mouth, so I would prefer that you cook it, which means you take a can without a BPA lining that has beans. I like organic Great Northern beans, and you put them into your blender or your food processor, and then you add some garlic and some olive oil, and you whip it up so that it becomes a great consistency, and then you add a little tahini in it, which is what makes it into hummus, and it's yummy on vegetables. So that would be a great snack. Vegetables are great because it will satisfy your urge to chomp, which during the period of the detox, you're not going to be eating crackers and potato chips and tortilla chips. You're not going to be eating any of that stuff because that turns into sugar. So give yourself the vegetables with great dips because that will allow you to chomp. And then you can make homemade salad dressings that are also great to dip these vegetables in. Primal Kitchens makes a great line of salad dressings that have very few ingredients in them that are all healthy, and they would make great dips for your vegetables. Okay, juices. The only juices that I want you to drink during the period of the detox are sugar-free cranberry and sugar-free pomegranate. Now, I know here in Los Angeles, I can buy those at Trader Joe's, but I can also get them at most grocery stores. So if you're not here in the Los Angeles area, get them from your local grocery store and look for sugar, no sugar added. And then what I recommend that you do is you take filtered water and you only fill up about a quarter of your glass with the juice, and then you fill up the rest of it with filtered water and add a drop or two of stevia, and that's what you're going to drink, because you're not going to be drinking any soda or any fruit juices that are like rocket fuel to your body. You're only going to drink those two juices, and you're going to drink them without sugar, and you're going to drink them in filtered water. Organic berries and green apples are the only fruits that you're allowed to eat during the detox. Aren't they lovely? Thank goodness that we can have those. Berries are very low in sugar, and so they're really good for your body because they're antioxidants and they're not adding sugar while you're doing your sugar detox, so your body loves them. The only problem with berries is you definitely want to buy them organic because they're low to the ground and they attract bugs. Bugs find them pretty yummy too, and so you don't want to be getting all of the chemicals that come with conventionally grown berries. So this is a time where you spend your organic dollars to buy yourself healthy organic berries. And then for apples, you want green apples or a sour apple. It could be McIntosh, it could be a Pippin, it could be a Granny Smith, but you want an apple that's a little bit more on the sour side because then it has less sugar and it's really good for you during the detox. Raspberries are a great choice. If you cannot get fresh berries, I recommend that you buy organic berries, frozen. And again, Trader Joe's carries those. And the interesting thing is that organic frozen blueberries are actually even better for you than the fresh organic blueberries because something happens to the skin when you freeze it that allows it to let loose all of its natural goodness into your body. So it's great to eat frozen blueberries while you're going through the detox. If you're going to be sitting watching television, take frozen blueberries in a bowl with you to sit on the couch, and that's what I recommend you munch on instead of all those old icky foods that were causing you to be addicted to sugar. You're going to buy something called PGX fiber powder, or you're going to buy PBX, P like pod, G like George, X like xylophone, fiber powder. You can buy it in little capsules or you can buy it loose, and you're going to drink that when you first get up. Follow the directions on the bottle or take the capsules when you first get up in the morning. I prefer the capsules because when you're mixing it in your filtered water, it becomes hard like Jell-O almost instantly. So then you're kind of chewing on something that's like gelatin. And so it's better, you want to get the fiber into your body and you want to be able to digest it. So mix it with water or drink the capsules quickly before it sets because that's going to grab the toxins out of your body during the detox and will make it much easier for you to get through the 3 to 6 week period while you're getting off the sugar. I'm going to want you to take a really good multivitamin. And remember that price does not indicate that it's the best. You want to buy a decent brand that doesn't have a lot of fillers and a lot of synthetic things in it. You want to get a good multivitamin because you're going to want to support your body during the detox. You're going to want to take chromium picolinate, which I buy pure. You can buy it on Amazon. And chromium picolinate will keep your blood sugar even during the sugar detox. So it's a great thing for you to take, at least for the 3 to 6 weeks that you're getting off the sugar. Now, you're going to put together an emergency kit that you're going to keep with you in your car or when you're out of the house, which is going to help you when you have a snack attack. And trust me, you're going to have a snack attack. So make sure you put together your little emergency pack and you keep it in the car, because I don't want you to get out of control because you're so hungry. I want you to be able to grab something from your snack pack and eat it instead. So what goes into your emergency kit? Our Santa almond butter packets are great. Almond butter is kind of a weird thing because they use formaldehyde when they kill off the bacteria and things that are in almonds, and you don't want formaldehyde in your body. So our Santa actually steams their almonds, so it's a very healthy almond butter for you to be eating. And it comes in little packets, which makes it easy to travel with. You're going to want to take nuts with you. Any kind of mixed nuts would be great for you. Just be careful that they're not in some kind of a vegetable oil that's not as healthy for you, because most vegetable oils are genetically modified, and we covered that in an earlier show. You're going to want to have some jerky with you, and I recommend either salmon jerky or turkey jerky, or I just bought some ostrich jerky that's actually quite delicious. You want some kind of jerky because it's high in protein. So that's a great thing. It carries easily, it doesn't go bad, and that's a great thing to have in your emergency pack. I'm going to want you to carry a can of wild salmon. And every time I say that, I have to sort of giggle, because I've told the story. The first time I took wild salmon with me, when I opened up the can, I sprayed the oil all over me, and I smelled like cat food for the rest of the day. So it's great to carry canned salmon with you, because that's an incredible source of high quality protein with omega-3 oils in it. But be careful when you open it, because you don't want to be stinking like cat food. Fresh blueberries are a great thing to carry with you in the car because they won't go bad that quickly. They're low in sugar and they make a great treat. Okay, for the detox, you're going to want to only use full-fat dairy. I recommend that you only use full-fat dairy after the detox too, but at least for the 3 to 6 weeks, you're going to want full-fat dairy. Whatever they do to the dairy to make it low-fat or non-fat, they actually spray some of the milk. That actually creates cholesterol in your arteries, so you don't want to be doing that. You want the full fat. It ends up that all those years that we got away from fat, fat is actually good for the body, and it's good for our brains. So by having full fat dairy, it's not bad for you. So if you do still have dairy, make sure you're doing the whole milk dairy and not the low fat or the non-fat. If you can eliminate dairy altogether, that's even better. But if you don't, at least use the full fat. You're going to eliminate all the grains for the period of the detox, because then you've also eliminated gluten, and that's also very good for your body. And unfortunately, both those things turn into sugar. So for the period of the detox, you don't want to be using them. You're going to eliminate sauces because they're all loaded with hidden sugars. So be careful of condiments like ketchup and mustard. They have tons of sugar in them. Or any other kind of sauce that you're going to be using, even tomato sauce. Tomatoes are turned into sugar, so you're not going to be having any of that during the detox. We have discovered there's a new kitchen sugar ketchup and mustard from Primal Kitchen that's very low in sugar and does not add sugar. So once you come out of the other end of the detox, you can use those again to not increase your sugar level. For the period of the detox, you're going to eat savory breakfast. Now, what does that mean? You're going to be eating eggs, And I personally recommend Vital Farm eggs because those are happy chickens that are running around in the field eating their species-specific diet. They're eating grasses and berries and bugs. And so their eggs, yes, they cost a few cents more, but they're also much healthier for you. And chickens that are in cage-free in very close conditions or on factory farms where they're in cages, they have a terrible life. So they're also loaded with stress hormones, their own stress hormones. And you got plenty of stress hormones of your own, so you don't need their stress hormones. So buy quality eggs. It's only for 3 to 6 weeks. I hope you'll always eat quality eggs, but at least for the period of the sugar detox. It's a difference of like 20 cents to 55 cents. And for a meal, that's not such a big difference. So treat yourself and eat high quality eggs. Eggs are a great choice. I like to add spinach to my eggs in the morning. I like to add green onions and mushrooms to change it up. And then I recommend that you start eating turkey bacon, and that will make a nice savory breakfast. Okay, for the whole period of the detox, I want you to do breathing exercises. And the breathing exercise that I recommend and that I personally use several times a day is Dr. Andrew Weil's 478 breathing exercise. You can actually look that up on YouTube and do it right along with Dr. Weil. If you don't know who Dr. Weil is, he owns some restaurants now called True Foods. They're quite wonderful. They would be an excellent place for you to go out to dinner, and be careful once you're through the sugar detox. But Dr. Andrew Weil was the first integrative doctor. He went to Harvard and became a doctor with the intention of not ever being a conventional doctor. His mother was an herbalist, and he had a dream of marrying all the different modalities of health together into one practice, which is why it's integrative. And he started the Integrative School of Medicine at the University of Arizona in Phoenix. And so that's where all of the integrative doctors that are now all over the country came out of his protocol. So he does a 478 breathing exercise that actually resets your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the reptilian brain at the back of your neck. I know it works because I do it when I'm driving in LA traffic on the way to my functional doctor's office, and then they take my blood pressure the minute I run in the door, and my blood pressure is always very low, and my pulse is better than any other patient that she has because I'm doing the breathing exercise, which is keeping my stress level below chronic, which is where I want it to be, and it's very healthy for me. When I got autoimmune disease, my cortisol was practically down to nothing. I was on the border of getting Addison's disease, which is when you don't have enough cortisol, and it's hard to recover from that. So thank goodness we caught it before I went there, and I now do this as well as some other stress exercises, which we're going to teach you again next week in a follow-up program for the coronavirus. The next program will go through a variety of different ways for you to control your stress. But to start off and start your sugar detox, do Dr. Andrew Weil's 478 breathing. You're going to get 8 hours of sleep. Now, I even have a hard time with this one. I can get 6 to 6.5 hours without a problem, but then I wake up. So I am really working hard on getting between 7 and 8 hours of sleep. There was a study done at Berkeley and Stanford called Why We Sleep, and it was a long study. It was a 15-year study, and they concluded that getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep is even more important than controlling your stress. And it's very important while you're going through the sugar detox that you treat your body to a full night's sleep. What your body does in that last hour of sleep is it sweeps all the plaque out of your brain. And why is that important? Because that's the stuff that causes dementia. So it's important that you get your full night's sleep as continuous as possible so that you can get through the sugar detox with as little stress on your body systems as possible. Okay, so those are the steps to doing a sugar detox. Now let's talk about what we're going to do with the cravings that this might possibly create so that we can get through the 6 to 8 or this 3 to 6 weeks while you're doing the detox. The first thing I want you to do is write on a stickum and put it on your bathroom mirror that you can do anything for 3 to 6 weeks. Because literally, if you set your mind to it, you can do anything for 3 to 6 weeks. If you start out with that mindset, it will make it much easier that you're going through the detox period. And every morning when you go into the bathroom to brush your teeth and put on your makeup or whatever you do for your daily grooming, I want you to repeat to yourself that you can do anything for 3 to 6 weeks to get yourself through this sugar detox period, because by stating that out loud and having that mindset, it's going to make it much easier for you to come out the other end of your addiction to sugar. The second thing I want you to do is to never skip breakfast. That savory breakfast we talked about is really important, because if you skip breakfast, you're going to have food cravings. But by setting aside at least 5 minutes in the morning to sit at a table and to eat and chew food that you enjoy, like a savory breakfast of healthy eggs and turkey bacon, which is really quite delicious. I had never eaten turkey bacon before I got sick. I love turkey bacon. So make sure that you sit every morning at a table for 5 minutes and eat your breakfast, and eat it mindfully, and be grateful that you have this great breakfast to eat, and that this is being a gift to yourself so that you don't have cravings as you get into the rest of your day. And so that's your second mindset to go into this without food cravings. Remember, you are what you eat. So ask yourself, what is it that you want to be? You want to be someone who is not addicted to sugar. You want to be someone who feels good. And you want to be someone who has a healthy immune system, because you don't want to get coronavirus or any other crazy virus that's going through our society. And by getting rid of the sugar, you're giving your immune system a healthy boost, which will help you get through all of this with grace. And then ask yourself, do you want junk food that you've craved for an hour, or the body that you've craved for a lifetime? It's your decision. So that's another great thing you might want to put up in the mirror in your bathroom. Do you want the junk food that you're craving right now, or do you want the body that you've craved for a lifetime? What I will promise you is if you come out the other end of your sugar addiction, you're not going to want all that junk anymore. I wouldn't have believed it until I did it, but I no longer have food calling my name from the kitchen all day long, because it doesn't have its hold on me anymore. And getting through a sugar detox and coming out the other end and breaking that addiction is worth its weight in gold. Remember, cravings will pass, but dreams won't. So stay conscious and mindful of what you're putting in your mouth. Most cravings will pass after 15 to 30 minutes. So the key is to ride out a craving. So you need a strong mindset, and then you're going to need to ride out whatever the craving is, because your cravings will be gone in 15 minutes if you direct your attention elsewhere. So 15 to 30 minutes isn't very long for you to direct your attention elsewhere and come out the other end of the craving. I want you to think about the word stop, because it's an acronym for S is stop what you're doing. T is take a 1-minute breathing break. O is observe your body sensation of hunger and rate it from 1 to 5. And then P is to proceed with awareness. This is from Deepak Chopra's new book, What Are You Hungry For? So if you stop what you're doing, take a 1-minute breathing break, observe your body sensation of hunger, and proceed with awareness, you will come out the other end of whatever it is that you're craving. So what causes cravings? Your body is a biocomputer. And think about it. It knows when to wake up in the morning. It knows when to go to the bathroom. It maintains a temperature of 98.6. It repairs itself when it's wounded. Your heart never misses a beat. Your lungs never miss a breath. Your body is actually a computer. It's a biocomputer. So since we know it's a supercomputer, look at your foods, your deficits, and the behaviors in your life that are causing the underlying causes of your cravings. Cravings are not weaknesses. They're important messages that are there to guide you that you need balance. So let's start by deconstructing whatever the craving is. What does your body really want when it's craving something that you don't want to eat? Because if you eat it, it's going to interrupt you detoxing off the sugar. When a craving does not come from hunger, eating will never satisfy it. And cravings come from all kinds of things. And you'll hear people talk about emotional connections to food. So sometimes cravings are just that. They're emotional connections to food. So don't just start putting something in your mouth. Be mindful. Know that you're not going to do that. And then let's deconstruct what that craving is so we can get to the bottom of it and not eat whatever it is. This is a quote from Deepak Chopra. Addiction is craving fulfillment from something that cannot provide fulfillment. In this sense, it's not different than the basic mechanism of ignorance that keeps everyone in bondage. With substance addiction, the mind-body sets up a vicious cycle that perpetuates the dependence. So if you're aware of it, it's much easier to say no, that you're not going to give in to whatever that craving is. There are 8 primary areas of our life, and if we're deficient in any of those 8 areas, we could actually get a food craving that has nothing to do with food. Number 1 is a lack of primary food. So what is primary food? Primary food are the 12 primary elements of our lives. There are 12 primary elements that feed our heart and soul and satisfy our hunger for life. So we're not going to put something in our mouth to satisfy the craving in a food form. We're going to instead take a look at how would we fill the craving for our hunger for life. Otherwise, you live without joy and peace, and wellness is elusive. So to be healthy, these 12 physical, spiritual, and mental primary elements need to be balanced. They are all important. So consciously put together a plan to improve whatever area that I'm going to read off is deficient in your life to create a life worth living. And keep working on these areas until they're all at an optimal level fulfilling your life. You deserve to have all 12 elements at their fullest part. How you feel about your outer world will affect the health of your inner world. So I want you to fall in love with taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. If you've not balanced your primary foods in your life, you are more prone to cravings. So what are the primary elements? Your relationships, take a look. Are you happy with the relationships you have in your life? If you're not, instead of putting something in your mouth, work on getting your relationships to be healthy and fulfilling so that you have those to fall back on. Is your social life something that is at the point that you'd like it to be? If not, work on ways to make more friends. Maybe you join a book group. You do things so that you meet more people who are like you so that you fulfill that in your life. And there's a new theory. You know how there's 6 degrees of separation, that you can meet almost anybody in the world through somebody else that's already in your life? Well, there's also 3 degrees of separation that's being talked about now, which are the people that are within 3 degrees in your life are the people who support your health habits the most. So think about who are in the 3 degrees of separation in your life and make sure that they have common goals and common health habits so that they help you be the healthiest and the happiest that you can be, because your immediate community supports where it is that you want to be in your life. The third element is joy. Do you have enough joy in your life? If not, take a look at joy and where can you get more and where can you increase it. One of the crazy things that my husband's doing in a class that he's taking, and it's really not crazy at all, they laugh for 10 seconds at the end of the class. Try it. Go into your bathroom, look in the mirror, and just start to laugh. It's actually totally impossible to listen to somebody laughing and not get a smile in your heart and on your face at the same time. When you're together with a group of friends, do it as an exercise. For 10 seconds, I want you all to laugh in a group. It's hysterical. The more you laugh, the more joy goes through your body. So find ways to bring more joy into your life if that's an area that you think is lacking right now. The fourth area is spirituality. It doesn't have to be religion, but it does need to be a connection to something greater than yourself. It could be nature, and certainly getting out into nature is really great to develop a spiritual practice and bring that fulfillment to your life. But if spirituality is something missing for you, find ways to build that so that you have a connection with the outer world that's greater than you are. The fifth area, is creativity. Every one of us has a different area where we have creative talent. So whatever it is for you, develop it. I find that when I am out in nature and I go into myself and I'm quiet, that's when I have my most creative thoughts and my most creative things come to me to go practice. Once I'm back into my regular life, I can fulfill my creativity by the thoughts that happen to me when I go into myself and I'm quiet. The sixth area are your finances. Are your finances where you want them to be? If they're not, then concentrate on that and bringing balance to your life with your finances, because all the food in the world isn't going to fulfill that for you, but putting a plan together that will bring you a stable financial future will do it for you. Next one is career. Now, certainly career and finances sort of go together, but are you happy with what you're doing for a living? If you're not happy with what you're doing for a living, then what steps can you take now to move towards a career that you would find more fulfilling? The next area is education. Certainly, it works together with career and finances, but do you need more education so that you can find a job that's better suited to what you love to do so that you can earn more living? Whichever one of these things is the thing that you need to do to bring fulfillment to your life, start to concentrate on it now. Then your health. Certainly your health is important. One of the reasons you're detoxing off of sugar is to bring balance to your health and to build up your immune system. So that's an area where you might want to work on getting balance. The next one is my personal favorite and where I need to bring balance to my life, and that's physical activity. I am not good at exercising. I have never liked to exercise. So what I did was I bought what I call my mini trampoline. It's a little rebounder. It has a handle that I can hold on to, and I tape country western music every weekend, and then I just jiggle to it. It gets my heartbeat going. It makes my lymph system clean out all the crud that it has cleaned up around the cells in my body, and it brings balance to my body because it gives me physical activity. And it's an amazing physical activity because you don't have to be jumping sky high in order to get the benefits. If you're sick and you even sit on a rebounder and just jiggle up and down, it's really good for your body. Next one is home cooking. Through the period of the detox, please cook your own food. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be something as simple as steaming your vegetables or roasting your vegetables. One of the oils that I use a lot when I cook is ghee, which is butter that's had the milk solids removed because I'm dairy sensitive. I love the taste of ghee. So if I steam vegetables and then I put a little bit of ghee on it with some seasonings, or if I roast vegetables, which I have tossed in a little bit of ghee, they're really yummy to eat. And as an element of home cooking, that way I'm feeding my body wonderful nutrients, which is fantastic. And I challenge you to eat all the colors of the rainbow so that you get nutrients from each color family because they work together in unison to bring you health. And then the last one is your home environment. Make your home environment a place that brings you peace. So that's an area you can concentrate on that will fulfill one of your primary elements that will make you so that once all these primary elements are at a higher level, then you're not going to be craving food while you're going through this. All of these things together in balance create health. And there's actually a wheel. I'm going to post this on my site. You can go and you can print this off. And the idea is to put dots with where you are on each of these areas so that you know where you're the lowest and where you're the highest, so you know where to concentrate. Put dots with the maximum being towards the outside and the minimum being down towards the center, and then connect the dots. And it'll be real easy to see what the areas are of your primary elements that you need to be working on. By balancing your primary elements, you will curb your cravings. And that's what this whole thing is about. You'll also have a healthier life. And isn't that a nice byproduct of going through all these exercises? Sometimes we look to sugar to reward ourselves in lieu of having our primary foods at an optimal level. By working on the areas where we are most deficient, we also stop filling these needs with sugary treats. So when they talk about emotional things that we need to work on, those are really things in your primary elements that are not up to the standard to give you the happy life that you deserve. So make a plan now. Pick one. You're not going to pick them all. You're going to pick the one where you're most deficient, and you're going to put together an action plan of what you can do to bring yourself more fulfillment in that particular area. I'm going to pay attention to my physical activity, and all of those are ways to curb your cravings. So the first steps of dealing with cravings is you're going to find out, are you really craving food, or are you craving one of the primary elements? Then the second thing you're going to do if you're having a craving is you're going to distract your brain. You're going to go for a walk. You're going to turn on some music and sing at the top of your lungs. You're going to dance around your living room like there's no tomorrow. You're going to take a hot bath with lavender and Epsom salts. You're going to increase your water intake because lack of water can send a message to your body that not only that you're thirsty and on the verge of dehydration, but dehydration can manifest as hunger, so that the second thing you do when you get a craving is drink a full glass of water and add lemon. Why lemon? Because lemon balances out your electrolytes. So by drinking a glass of water with some lemon in it and giving yourself that 5 minutes to deconstruct that craving, because you're going to come out the other end and not want it so much at the end of the 5 minutes. These are all positive things to get past craving whatever that food was that you wanted to eat that's not good for you, that will keep you addicted to the sugar that you're trying to break the addiction to. I also recommend that you put berries into a glass bottle in your fridge with filtered water and you drink that. Low in sugar, filled with color, good for your body, positive all the way around. Or you can put a little cranberry juice or pomegranate juice that have no sugar added to them that will also do that. You're going to take a look at the yin-yang balances in your life. Certain foods are more yin, which means they're expansive, while other foods are more yang, which means they're contractive. Eating foods that are either extremely yin or extremely yang cause cravings because your body naturally wants to maintain balance. So, example, eating a diet high in sugar is yin and causes a craving for meat, which is yang. Eating too many raw foods is yin, which causes cravings for heavily cooked foods, and vice versa. While you're going through the sugar detox, as a result of that, I recommend that you eat half your vegetables cooked and half your vegetables raw. And why do I recommend that? Because it keeps your yin yang balanced, which will deconstruct your cravings. So it's good for you. The inside coming out is the next one. Oftentimes, cravings come from foods that we've recently eaten, and so, or from foods that are from our childhood. A clever way to satisfy these cravings is to eat a healthier version of your ancestral or childhood foods. We talked in an earlier TV show about use this, not that, and I will post that also with the chart so that you can pull it up and you can take a look at it and find a way to convert recipes to a healthier version of your old childhood favorites. The next thing to do is to think about eating seasonal. The body craves foods that are in accordance with the season. So we're just entering spring, so people crave detoxifying foods like leafy greens and citrus foods. In the summer, people crave cooling foods like fruit or raw foods. In the fall, people crave grounding foods like squash, onions, and nuts. And during the winter, many people crave heat-producing foods like meat, oils, and fats. Cravings can also be associated with the holidays, like for foods like turkey or eggnog or Christmas cookies. We're lucky that we're going to be doing this detox in the spring, so what we should be craving are leafy greens and citrus foods because they're good for us. Now, sometimes cravings are caused by a lack of nutrients, which is kind of interesting. If you're craving chocolate, what you probably really need is magnesium. And most of us are deficient in magnesium in our bodies anyway, so I recommend the next time you go to your doctor, you have him test your magnesium levels, and then you take a magnesium supplement. Will also help you keep regular, which is what I use magnesium for, but I do tend to be low in magnesium when I get tested at my doctor's. So chocolate equals a magnesium craving. Sugary foods mean that you need chromium, carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, and tryptophan. So what do you eat for that? Broccoli, fresh fruits, chicken, beef, and fatty fish, cranberries, horseradish, cabbage, cheese, raisins, and spinach. All of those will make up for the desire to eat sugary foods. Bread, pasta, and carb cravings mean that you need nitrogen. So what you're really looking for are high protein foods, which are meat, fatty fish, nuts, beans, and chia seeds. Oily food cravings mean that you're deficient in calcium, which means that you want to have whole milk, cheese, whole cheese, green leafy vegetables. And salty foods probably mean that what you need to be feeding is chloride and silicon in your body, which is fatty fish, goat milk, cashews, nuts, and seeds. So the items that I said, if you were craving the first one, you eat the other one, that will help you not eat the food that will interrupt your sugar craving. One of the things that causes cravings can be hormonal. I know for women, we go through a hormonal period once a month, and I was always looking for chocolate when I was in that period. So you want to be careful that you're choosing complex carbs and protein when you're craving something else when you're hormonal. Maintain your magnesium intake, relax and do the Dr. Andrew Weil breathing exercise, Get out into the sunshine, get moving, and take heart. When things are going extremely well in your life, every once in a while we decide we want to self-sabotage ourselves, and I don't want you to do that. So if you start to sabotage yourself, I want you to get outside. I want you to take a walk. I want you to get into the sunshine if you can. I want you to take magnesium. I want you to do things like singing in the living room and dancing like there's no tomorrow to get your mind off of whatever it is you're about to do that's going to sabotage yourself. Because getting through this detox truly is worth it to break your connection to sugar. You can also start to self-sabotage yourself if you're dealing with low blood sugar. And what's the best thing for low blood sugar? Protein. So any kind of protein source will release sugar slowly over a long period of time and get you through that so that your sugar comes back up to normal, and you don't want to have something that is sugary that will increase your sugar levels. I know a lot of people with diabetes eat something sugary when they think they're low sugar. I'd like you not to go into that dip in the first place and to eat your high protein foods to keep yourself even. So those are all the things to do to get yourself through the cravings period. And the last thing is, I want you to go back into the bathroom and look in the mirror, and I want you to ask yourself, how do you feel? If you start asking your body, how does it feel, your body will start to answer you. Ask your body, what does it need from you to support you to get through the sugar detox? Your body's very smart, and your body will answer you. I wish I had done that before I got autoimmune disease, but it is something that I do on a daily basis now. I go into my body and I ask it, how does it feel? How is it doing? What am I not giving it that it would like to have? And my body's to the point where it's asking for stuff like more vegetables because it knows that it wants to jump for joy when I feed it nutrients. So start to ask yourself these questions, and you know that you're arriving at a healthier point when your body starts to answer with healthier options. And then the last thing, if you're still suffering from a craving, I want you to crowd it out. I want you to drink more water. I want you to eat more vegetables. Remember, you're going to open up that refrigerator door and pull the things that are right in front of you on that healthy shelf where you're going to be munching on vegetables and having dips with it. You're going to crowd out whatever that thing is that's causing you that craving. Deprivation is not going to work. So whatever you fight, you strengthen, and whatever you resist will persist. So crowd it out with something else that's really good for you. Eat a green apple. Eat a handful of frozen blueberries. Eat some munchy vegetables and dip. Crowd it out with something that your body will jump for joy about, but will take away the fact that you want that sugary cookie or that sugary whatever it is. We don't want to concentrate on what we don't have, so crowding out is a concept that we want that will take deprivation and turn it into a healthy approach. You want to add more of the good stuff in so that you don't want the bad stuff. And the more healthy foods you add to your existing diet, the less room you're going to have for junk, and you're going to crowd out the unhealthy foods until you reach a balanced diet that's sustainable and makes you feel great. So once you come through the detox, you're going to be in a place where you can add in a little bit of things like sweet potatoes that will satisfy your sweet urge. But for this 3 to 6 weeks, I really want you to be very strict, because that's the way you're going to break your connection to sugar and come out the other end. I'm to the point I have mentioned before that when I go grocery shopping, I cannot stand the smell of sugar and processed food. And sugar's not the only thing that causes an addiction to food. MSG causes an addiction to food. Synthetic ingredients cause addictions to food. So by eliminating processed food, you're eliminating all of those things that have a hold on you as well. And food freedom, when you come out the other end of all of this, is so worth it. So remind yourself that you're doing this detox for a reason. And right now, with the coronavirus out there, you're doing it because your immune system is going to function at optimal, and that's what you want. Okay? So that's how you get through the sugar detox. We're going to talk about what to do to boost your immune system beyond just detoxing off the sugar. So I hope you'll join me again for the next show, because I love sharing all this information with you, and I hope it gives you a happy, healthier life and keeps your brain intact, because that's kind of the point. We want to grow old, and we want to grow old with all of our faculties together as we do it. So thank you. I'll see you next week.